Gentlemen, let's get straight into something most men never talk about openly, but silently affects their health. What you do after masturbation. Now listen closely, because this is where so many men make mistakes that might feel harmless in the moment, but can slowly chip away at your energy, your mood, even your circulation. I'm not here to shame you or make you uncomfortable. I'm here as a urologist to help you understand how your body works, especially after 50, and why those simple choices after release can either support your health or harm it. Here's the truth. After ejaculation, your body shifts into a recovery state. Hormones like prolactin and oxytocin rise, testosterone temporarily dips, blood vessels change their flow, and the nervous system begins to cool things down. This is not just some random feeling, it's a real physiological reset. What you do during this sensitive recovery window can either help your body bounce back or set you up for fatigue, irritation, or even long-term problems with your circulation and erections. One harmful thing men do right after masturbation is ignoring hydration. Think about it. Your body has just gone through muscle contractions, energy release, and changes in blood flow. Water is needed to stabilize your circulation, maintain healthy blood pressure, and flush out metabolic byproducts. Yet so many men just roll over, fall asleep, and forget to drink even a glass of water. Dehydration may sound minor, but it stresses your cardiovascular system and leaves you more tired the next day. A simple habit, reaching for water, already puts you ahead of most men. Another mistake is rushing back to high-stress activity. Maybe you immediately check your phone, jump into work emails, or even argue with someone. Here's what you need to understand. Your nervous system just shifted into a parasympathetic rest and recover state. If you suddenly trigger stress hormones like cortisol by diving into pressure, your body can't restore balance. That constant tug-of-war between relaxation and stress wears men down over time, especially after 50, when recovery isn't as quick as it once was.
Now, let's talk about posture. Some men finish and then slump in awkward positions, maybe lying twisted on the couch or falling asleep sitting up. What they don't realize is that circulation is already altered after ejaculation. Staying in poor posture can reduce blood flow even more, leaving your lower back, hips, or even your prostate under unnecessary pressure. Good posture after release sounds like a small thing, but it helps your circulation normalize. Another common harmful habit is lighting up a cigarette or even pouring a drink right afterward. I see this a lot in older men. Here's the problem. Smoking immediately constricts your blood vessels, and alcohol adds extra stress to your liver and hormone balance. Combine that with the fact that your body is already in a sensitive recovery state, and you've just doubled the burden. This is one of the fastest ways to reduce testosterone over time and weaken circulation to areas that matter most. Let me emphasize something here. Masturbation itself is not the problem. It's the careless after habits that build up and create issues. Think of it like exercise. The workout can be good for you, but if you don't hydrate, stretch, or recover, you end up sore, stiff, and maybe even injured. The same logic applies here. Skipping hygiene is another overlooked danger. After ejaculation, bacteria can linger around the genital area. If you don't wash up, you increase the risk of irritation, infections, or skin problems. This is especially true as men age, since the immune system isn't as sharp as it once was. A quick rinse with warm water is often enough to keep things clean and avoid unnecessary trouble. Then there's overeating. Some men feel relaxed after release and immediately reach for heavy food, but your digestive system competes with your recovery system. When you stuff yourself with greasy or sugary foods in that window, blood rushes to the stomach instead of helping circulation rebalance elsewhere. You might feel sluggish, bloated, or drained instead of calm and restored. A light snack is fine, but heavy meals right after can weigh you down in more ways than one. Lastly, let's touch on something men rarely consider, the mental side.
Right after masturbation, your brain releases chemicals that can either make you feel satisfied or sometimes guilty, depending on how you frame the habit. If you instantly flood your mind with negative thoughts, shame, regret, self-criticism, you actually raise stress hormones like cortisol. Over time, this negative cycle can link a natural release with unhealthy emotions, which only worsens anxiety and energy loss. So here's the point of Section 1. It's not the act itself that hurts your health. It's the careless after habits that build up and create issues. Think of it like exercise. The workout can be good for you, but if you don't hydrate, stretch, or recover, you end up sore, stiff, and maybe even injured. The same logic applies here. Stay with me, because in the next part, we're going to dig deeper into the everyday mistakes men make without even realizing they're harming their energy and hormone balance. And I'll tell you right now, number 2 in that list is one you probably do almost every day without thinking, but it could be slowly draining your strength.
Now that we've laid out the basics of how those small after habits can silently chip away at your health, let's go deeper into the everyday mistakes that men over 50 make without even realizing how much they drain testosterone, energy, and circulation. These are things that may feel normal, even harmless, but when your body is already in a sensitive recovery window, they pile up over time. One of the biggest ones is ignoring rest. Many men finish, feel that wave of calm, and then push themselves right back into activity. Maybe it's chores around the house, maybe it's answering messages, maybe it's even heading straight into physical work. Here's the truth. Your body just experienced muscle contractions, hormone shifts, and a release of stored energy. Rest isn't a luxury, it's part of the recovery cycle. Without at least a few minutes of downtime, your nervous system never gets the chance to reset fully. That constant pressure adds up, leaving you feeling more worn out in the long run. Another harmful mistake is immediately blasting your body with cold, like jumping into a freezing shower. Some men swear by this for energy, but right after masturbation, your blood vessels are already adjusting. Extreme cold shocks the system, constricts blood flow, and can even raise blood pressure. This is especially risky if you already deal with hypertension or circulation problems, which are common after 50. A better option is lukewarm or warm water, which relaxes blood vessels and supports recovery, instead of shocking your body into survival mode. Number 3, and this one surprises a lot of men, is skipping protein after release. Now, I'm not saying you need to treat this like a workout with a protein shake, but remember this. Ejaculation is a physical process, and muscles play a role. Protein supports recovery, hormone balance, and energy levels. If your diet is already low in quality protein and you skip it after release, you may find yourself weaker or more fatigued later in the day. Even a handful of nuts, yogurt, or an egg can make a difference. Another subtle but damaging habit is poor breathing. After release, many men fall into shallow breathing or even hold tension in the chest without realizing it. Shallow breathing reduces oxygen delivery to tissues and slows recovery. Deep breathing, on the other hand, floods your system with oxygen, lowers stress hormones, and helps circulation stabilize faster. Just 2 or 3 minutes of slow, deep breathing after release can have a bigger impact than most men expect.
Let's also talk about ignoring pelvic floor health. Men rarely think about this, but the pelvic muscles play a central role in ejaculation and circulation. If you finish and then slump in a chair without movement, those muscles stay tight and circulation slows. Over years, that weakens both control and strength in that area. Simple stretches, a short walk, or even light pelvic floor exercises after release can support long-term function. Remember, movement is medicine, and this part of the body needs it as much as your legs or arms. Another mistake that drains men's energy is immediately flooding the brain with screens. Right after release, your dopamine, the brain's reward chemical, temporarily dips. If you jump straight to social media, endless scrolling, or overstimulating content, you push your brain to chase another dopamine spike. That cycle not only makes you mentally restless, it also dulls your natural satisfaction response. Over time, it leaves you feeling more tired, distracted, and less focused. Taking even a short break from screens after release allows your brain chemistry to rebalance naturally. We also need to mention neglecting circulation. Many men stay seated for long stretches after release, whether it's on the couch or at a desk. But sitting compresses blood vessels in the pelvis and legs, reducing circulation even further. For men over 50 who may already deal with slower blood flow, this is one of the easiest ways to harm long-term vascular health. A simple solution? Stand up, walk a bit, or stretch your legs. Just a few minutes makes a big difference. Another overlooked mistake is alcohol use. I touched on this earlier, but it deserves more attention here. Alcohol right after masturbation interferes with liver function, reduces testosterone production, and alters your sleep quality. Poor sleep alone can lower testosterone, raise cortisol, and drain energy. So stacking alcohol on top of that sensitive recovery period is like kicking your system when it's already down. The older you get, the more noticeable the effects become. Finally, let's highlight the role of mindset. Men often brush this off, but your thoughts after release matter more than you realize. Some men slip into guilt, some into anxiety, others into indifference. The truth is, your brain is wiring associations every single time. If you pair release with negative thought patterns, your brain learns to connect the two. That drains your motivation and energy over time. But if you shift toward acceptance, relaxation, or even gratitude, you lower stress hormones and support healthier recovery. So what's the bottom line here in Section 2? Everyday mistakes, skipping rest, shocking your body with cold, ignoring protein, shallow breathing, sitting too long, jumping into screens, drinking alcohol, or feeding negative thought loops, might not seem huge in isolation. But stack them up, repeat them week after week, year after year, and they quietly erode your strength. They drain testosterone, disrupt recovery, and weaken circulation. The good news is this: awareness is the first step to breaking the cycle. Once you know these traps, you can start making smarter choices. And in the final part of this video, we're going to talk about exactly that, the smarter, healthier moves you can make after release to protect your energy, support your hormones, and build long-term vitality. And I'll tell you now, number 5 in that list is a small daily action that can totally change how energized and focused you feel as you get older. Now that we've covered the mistakes, let's flip the script. Because here's the truth. If you avoid those harmful habits and replace them with smarter ones, your body will thank you, not just today, but years down the road. Remember, after 50, your system doesn't bounce back as fast. You need to give it the right environment to recover. And these next steps are exactly what will keep your energy, your hormones, and your circulation strong. The first smart move is hydration. Simple, but powerful. After release, your body is adjusting fluids and blood flow. A glass of water helps stabilize circulation, supports kidney function, and keeps blood pressure steady. It sounds small, but over time, consistent hydration after release reduces fatigue and protects vascular health. You don't need sports drinks or gimmicks, just clean water, maybe with a pinch of electrolytes if you've been sweating or exercising earlier. Second, give your body a moment of calm. I don't mean lying around all day, but 5 to 10 minutes of real rest allows your nervous system to fully shift back into balance. Think of it as a cool down after exercise. You wouldn't run a mile and immediately sprint into another one without recovery. The same logic applies here. Those minutes of stillness let your hormones, testosterone, prolactin, and cortisol settle into a healthier rhythm. Number 3, light movement. Once you've had that short recovery, stand up, stretch, or take a brief walk. This supports pelvic floor health, prevents blood from pooling in the lower body, and keeps circulation flowing.
Even a few minutes of walking around the house signals to your system that it's time to reset. Men who ignore this often feel groggier and more sluggish later, while those who move feel clearer and more energized. The fourth smart habit is hygiene. I can't stress this enough. Rinsing off with warm water keeps the area clean, reduces bacteria buildup, and lowers the risk of irritation. Warm water also supports relaxation of blood vessels, unlike icy cold showers that can shock your system. Think of this as maintenance. It protects both your immediate comfort and your long-term health.
Now, number 5. This is the one I told you could change everything. Breathing exercises. 2 to 3 minutes of slow, deep breathing after release does more for your body than most men realize. It lowers cortisol, increases oxygen delivery, stabilizes heart rate, and restores calm. Deep breathing also boosts nitric oxide, the molecule that supports blood vessel flexibility and healthy erections. If there's one habit I want you to try tonight, it's this one. Number 6. A light protein snack if you're hungry, something like an egg, yogurt, nuts, or lean meat. This supports muscle recovery, hormone balance, and energy stability. Avoid heavy meals or sugary snacks right after because those drag your system down. Think of protein as fuel that keeps you steady instead of spiking and crashing. 7th, set boundaries with screens. Give your brain 10 to 15 minutes away from scrolling, news, or overstimulating content. This allows dopamine levels to rebalance naturally, so you feel more satisfied and less restless. Men who instantly chase stimulation after release often feel drained later. Men who allow a little quiet time often feel sharper. 8th, support your mindset. Instead of slipping into guilt or negative thinking, shift toward gratitude or calm reflection. Say to yourself, I gave my body release, and now I'm giving it recovery. That mindset lowers stress, supports healthier hormone patterns, and over time, builds a better mental association with your own body. 9th, prioritize sleep. If release happens at night, treat it as part of your sleep routine. Quality sleep is one of the strongest natural testosterone boosters you have. Without it, all the other habits mean little. Deep sleep allows your pituitary gland to release growth hormone, which supports recovery, energy, and muscle maintenance. Protect your sleep, and you protect your vitality. And finally, number 10, consistency. None of these habits matter if you only do them once in a while. Your body thrives on patterns. Just like exercise builds muscle over time, smart post-release habits build resilience. When you're consistent, your hormones stay steadier, your energy rebounds faster, and your circulation remains stronger. So let's put this all together. Harmful habits after masturbation, like ignoring hydration, sitting too long, rushing into stress, smoking, drinking, overeating, or feeding negative thought patterns, drain your energy and weaken your health over time. Smarter habits, hydrating, resting, light movement, warm hygiene, deep breathing, protein support, screen boundaries, mindset shifts, quality sleep, and consistency do the exact opposite. They build energy, support testosterone, and keep your circulation healthy even as you age. If you've watched this far, it means you care about your health and your future. And I'll tell you this, small choices repeated daily are far more powerful than any quick fix. Take 1 or 2 of these habits and apply them today, then build from there. Over weeks and months, you'll notice the difference in your energy, your mood, and your strength. Gentlemen, if this video has been helpful, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this with a friend who could benefit from the advice. The more men take control of their health, the stronger we all become. Stay consistent, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next video.